The NFL Today is presented by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41.
And welcome back to the NFL Today and Visa First on the field. The Patriots play the Packers this afternoon. So from our New York studios, let's head to Lambeau Field where Greg Gumbel and Dan Deerdorf are standing by. Gentlemen.
JB, thank you. For 15 seasons, this guy has been making this walk, thrilling fans and setting records all along the way. Brett Favre just coming to work on a Sunday afternoon at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Hi, everyone. Along with Dan Deerdorf, I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome to one of the most famous sports venues in all the world, Lambeau Field. And Dan, this place and this field just oozes and overflows with National Football League history and tradition.
I know that I'll never forget the first time that I ever had the pleasure of coming here, and you can't help, you stand on the field and you look up at these names, and it that just resonates with everything that is good and pure about the National Football League. And on top of it all, Greg, here today, it's a beautiful afternoon and what I think outstanding matchup.
Now, Lambeau Field is a Green Bay legend, and so is number 4, Brett Favre. He is the Packers' elder statesman. He's a future Hall of Famer, and he is very simply still one of the best football players in the NFL.
And maybe the most entertaining player in the National Football League, because you just feed off his raw exuberance and love of the game. And from a player's perspective, you have to admire his amazing longevity at that position, to have that consecutive game streak, his record here at Lambeau, chasing Dan Marino, Brett Favre, and it's so much fun to see him now at this age, 37, having, seems to me, more fun than he's had the last couple of years.
And you know what? No one is enjoying that resurgence more than Green Bay's first-year head coach, Mike McCarthy. We talked with Coach McCarthy last night and asked him what he feels is so unique about his quarterback.
Well, he just has a tremendous passion for the game of football, and he's just a truly competitive individual in everything he does, whether it's in the classroom or, out on the practice field. But, he sometimes gets outside the box, which, we all tend to hold our breath a little bit, and for the most part, it usually works out very well. Recently, he did the Lambeau Leap. Well, I'm starting to get concerned because his celebrations are probably the most physical exertion he goes through in the course of a football game, so we need to probably monitor that also.
Now, while the Packers have a quarterback legend on one side of the field, on the other side of the field, the Patriots have a legend in the making in Tom Brady. 3 Super Bowl titles under Brady, and Dan, people have now begun asking questions in the wake of some recent events.
Well, sometimes you think this team is 3-6 instead of the other way around. But Tom Brady, I think, has some questions about his physical state of mind right now, and it's because he's been under pressure, more pressure than we've seen him been under in a long, long time. He's taken a lot of awkward hits. There's a good example, being driven into the ground, and questions have surfaced about his shoulder. And they really went wild this week when Vinny Testaverde was signed by the Patriots to be their 3rd quarterback. But in talking to Tom yesterday, he really tried to reassure us, my shoulder is fine, there's nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, it's been quite a while since I really felt this good going into this late in the season, so I believe it.
Now, Dan, your Dell Direct game points.
Well, let's start off with taking a look at this matchup today, and my first one's going to be deer in the headlights. 3 rookies are going to start on the Packers offensive line. They're going to see some wild looks come at them from Bill Belichick's defense. On the other side of it, for New England, this is the 31st ranked pass defense in the league the Packers have. Look for Brady to spread the field, go into that shotgun, and try to exploit the safeties deep. And finally, quite simply, Favre, Brady, sunny day, Lambeau Field. Sit back and enjoy the show.
And for your Dell Direct game points, log on to CBSSportsline.com. We're coming back to Green Bay, where football's a way of life, and Vince Lombardi stands guard over all. The Packers and the Patriots after this message, and a word from your local station. Want to know what playing under pressure is all about? Try playing defense on a day like today with a couple of gunslingers named Favre and Brady locked and loaded. The Patriots and the Packers in high definition by Sony. Next.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay. This is football, particularly in this stadium. The Green Bay Packers have won the toss, and they will receive. Steven Gostkowski ready to kick it away to number 34, Vernon Morency, and also deep is number 23, Noah Herron, and we're underway at Lambeau. From the 5, it's Morency. Across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. Green Bay offense means Brett 700 yards this season. And on first down, Favre will play fake and underthrow his receiver in the middle of the field, intended for the rookie Greg Jennings. The Patriots, 3-handing. 2nd and 10. Amon Green and William Henderson in the backfield with Favre. From the shotgun, out of the backfield, it's Green. And Green forced out of bounds without much gain at all at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. We'll see where the ball is placed. Roosevelt Colvin forced him out.
And this is really the situation that's coming up now, 3rd and long, that's really going to try the fact that there are 3 rookies on this offensive line, and you were looking at Troy Brown, who's going to start today. The wide receiver is actually the starting nickelback. He'll work the slot receiver. That's how banged up they are in the New England secondary, that Troy Brown, who's done it a lot before, but not normally at the beginning of a game.
3rd and 10 from the 22. Favre with time, going to go down the sideline. It is incomplete. Close to midfield. Greg Jennings was the intended receiver, and Artrell Hawkins was there with the cover.
Well, that is a classic coverage, 1 short, 1 long, and that's what a safety is supposed to do. Hawkins comes in and takes away any chance of Greg Jennings being able to bring down that football.
So John Ryan comes on to punt for Green Bay, and Kevin Falk is deep, and now we have a timeout being called by the New England Patriots. 14-13 to play, first quarter. New England gets the football after this. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady anxious to get onto the field. That timeout was forced because the Patriots had too many players on the field. Ryan's kick now to Kevin Falk from his own 28. Across the 35 to about the 37 or 38-yard line, where the rookie A.J. Hawk makes the tackle. A 50-yard kick and a 9-yard return. Here's Brady. Lawrence Maroney, the rookie, into the lineup for New England on 2nd and 7. Brady with time over the middle, and wide open across midfield is Kevin Falk for a Patriots first down. 13-yard pickup on the play.
Boy, and really wide open, and this is the part of the field the Patriots love to work, the middle of the field, coming out of a bunch formation. You can see that causes some confusion in the Green Bay secondary, and Falk really left all alone. Way too easy for Tom Brady to find that.
First down now, New England in Green Bay territory at the 47. Play fake to Maroney. Brady with time, down the middle, has his man inside the 15-yard line. The tight end, Ben Watson, lost the football. And he is ruled down.
Well, he recovered it. That ball ended up being recovered by Jabbar Gaffney, I believe. Again, a wide open receiver. And let's see if that ball comes out. You can see it was stripped. It looked like it might have come out before Watson touched the ground. but nonetheless it was recovered by the Patriots. Ben Watson, and yeah, you could see a good job there of Papinga coming in and stripping the ball. And Green Bay already with their backs to the wall.
First and 10 from the 11. The give is to Corey Dillon. And Dillon bulls his way to about the 7, maybe the 6-yard line.
Greg, those are hard yards. When a guy like Corey Dillon, and that's what you love about a guy like this, that when he has to turn to power, he's not afraid to just take a few yards instead of trying to make something flashy happen. Lower your shoulder, get a surge right behind your line, and that's a nice pickup on first down this close to the goal line.
You see his numbers on the season. Dillon had 11 carries, 98 yards in the loss to the Jets. He goes to the sideline. Maroney and Falk in the backfield on 2nd and 6. Brady running out of time and now throws it away. It'll be 3rd and 6. There is a feeling of urgency for this New England team. You know, I mentioned it to Tom Brady last night. There are a lot of teams that have back-to-back losses. It's just that the Patriots haven't experienced that for a while.
Well, their bar is just raised a little higher than most teams. And quite frankly, you know, when they went to pads this week, I think Bill Belichick kind of served that on them.
3rd and 6 from the 7. Brady going to throw inside the 5 to the 1 is Troy Brown.
Ooh, decision time. Got about a yard to go on 4th down on the road. Bill Belichick, what message are you going to send to your team? Do we take 3 points and get out of here?
This is really close. Mike Carey's our referee today.
It's close to a first down.
Yeah, we're going to measure this.
Yeah, because you can still get the first down without getting into the end zone. Let's see how close this is. And there's a interesting bunch of spectators on the Green Bay sideline.
Coach Mike McCarthy in his first season here in Green Bay.
He is really, that ball is really close to getting the first down. I'd have to think that even if they don't get it on this, it's going to be so close.
That's short of a first down.
The Patriots have one heck of a conversion rate on 4th down. I believe they're 11 out of 14 on the year. That's got to factor into having some confidence in trying to convert only about 6 inches.
3 out of 3 last week in the game against the Jets, and they will go for it. Mike Vrabel, the linebacker, has come on, and he, of course, now in New England parlance is infamous for being one of Brady's favorite receivers in the red zone. Dillon and Heath Evans in the backfield. Brady going to keep it and throw this side. Touchdown. Daniel Graham, the tight end.
Well, you got all the pieces in place. You got a running back you have to respect with the power game. The fake freezes everybody, but on top of it all, you got the quarterback you trust. You got the ball in number 12's hands. You trust him to find the open guy, and in that situation, it was Daniel Graham. That's a little bit about why the Patriots are who they are.
Graham's 2nd touchdown catch of the year. Brady's 16th TD toss. Gostowski for the extra point, and it is good. 10:47 to play, first quarter. Tom Brady and the Patriots strike first. 7-0, New England. Back at Lambeau. 7 plays, 63 yards. Brady went 4 for 5 for 56 of those yards, throwing to 4 different receivers.
And again, they went right after the soft spot of the Packers, and that is their pass defense. Next to last in the NFL.
And Brett Favre waiting for his shot, which comes after this kick. From the goal line, Noah Herron. Get it to 15, eludes a tackler, doesn't quite make it to the 20. He did. Back to the 20-yard line, and Brett Favre back out for his second offensive series as we come back to Lambeau after this. Hey, don't miss a play, a stat, or a story with CBS Sportsline Sunday Game Center. Follow every game with lightning-fast scoring and play the hottest head-to-head trivia game on the web. Trivia Tower. It's all free at CBSSportsline.com. From the 20-yard line, Favre and the Packers go to work. Favre will fake to the far side, come to the near side, and underthrow Ahman Green. Coming out of the backfield, we have our first update of the day from New York. And JB.
Greg and Dan, you recall my guy, Chad Johnson, set a franchise record with 260 yards against San Diego last week. Up top, Carson Palmer goes to him, 41 yards on this one. They didn't show the dance, and Greg and Dan, I was going to ask you guys, I know you were a little hipper than I am, but the most important thing, 7-0 Cincinnati. Back to Greg and Dan.
JB, I'm just wondering when he became your guy. Was it after he had that breakout game last week?
Oh, Greg.
Straight ahead is Ahman Green.
You know, a lot of people have been talking about the state of Tom Brady's shoulder. You know, that's why they signed Testaverde. Watch this. I've had sore shoulders before. I never ever thought about doing something like that if my arm was really hurting me.
Not after any of your numerous touchdown passes.
No, but you don't do that if your arm's killing you. That was quite a spontaneous show of excitement there by Tom Brady. He's fired up and ready to roll.
3rd and 7. Favre going to throw it far side, has a man and overthrew Greg Jennings, the rookie. The second-round pick out of Western Michigan.
Well, and Jennings was really covered well, and Brett had no chance but to try to loft the ball in a position where maybe Jennings could make some sort of a highlight reel catch. Ellis Hobbs is all over him, and look where Brett has to put the ball, and that's really not that bad of a throw. It would have taken something absolutely perfect to drop in.
Ryan's kick, Kevin Falk will return this one from his own 29. Tripped up, shy of the 35-yard line. It's a 49-yard kick and just a 6-yard return. Green Bay faithful out in force as usual. 9:42 to play in the first quarter. You know, that's a heck of a first game. You can do a lot worse than Brett against Brady.
Not every day you get two guys that are Hall of Fame locks going head-to-head.
Lawrence Maroney, the rookie, takes the pitch, tries the left side, and gets hit at about 38-yard line. Let's go back to that touchdown drive.
Well, it was working the middle of the field by Tom Brady and getting everybody involved. He started off with Kevin Falk. Then he goes deep to his tight end, Benjamin Watson. Even though he fumbled the ball, New England recovered. Then he goes back to his other tight end, Daniel Graham. And Tom Brady, yep, that's the way you like to start it off on the road. And the Patriots, a very, very confident team on the road, and their record reflects it.
2nd and 6. Brady out of the shotgun from the 39, and we get a whistle and a timeout, Green Bay.
Timeout, Green Bay.
So the Packers call time and stop the clock with 9:02 to play in the first, and we'll be back after this. With plenty still to be decided in this game, Tom Brady has the early edge off of that touchdown drive.
He most certainly does, and that time that formation confused the Packers defensively. They went with 3 wide receivers, no running back in the game, and both of their tight ends were lined up in the backfield. And that apparently threw a giant curveball at the Green Bay defense, and they called a timeout.
From the 39, it's 2nd and 6. And now 5 receivers for Brady. Had movement before the snap, looked like Matt Light.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So Mike Carey fills us in, and that backs the Patriots up now to a 2nd and 11.
Offensive tackles are always trying to get that half a snap count edge on beating a defensive end upfield, and that time pretty apparent. Matt Light just started rocking back and couldn't stop himself blowing out of his stance.
This Green Bay defense has registered 31 sacks this year. Brady throws far side of the field, and that is Maroney, and Maroney wrestled out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Time for another update from New York. Let's go back and check in with JB.
All right, Greg, let's take a look here. This time, Drew Brees, little handoff there to McAllister, back to Brees, the flea flicker up top to Joe Horn. Fellas, look, 3 recovered guys around him. He still takes it to pay dirt, 72 yards, 7 all. And Greg, thanks for nudging me back to impartiality. I have no favorites. You're right. Back to Greg and Dan.
You're our favorite, JB. Meanwhile, it doesn't look like the Bengals defense has sewn up any of those holes they were sprouting a week ago.
No Cincinnati lead is safe with that group.
On 3rd and 10, Brady going to run to the 40, slides down short of the first down. Patrick Dendy coming up to hit him, but it'll bring on the punting unit.
This is something you don't see very often out of Tom Brady. When his first inclination, his last inclination is not to run. He gets hit on the left shoulder a little bit as he's sliding in there. He didn't do the classic hook slide, and that's perfectly legal.
Charles Woodson back close to his own 10-yard line for the kick. It's short and wide right, and bounces out of bounds. And Green Bay is going to have some decent field position. Time once again to take you back to the NFL Today and James Brown.
All right, Greg and Dan, capping an 11-play, 76-yard drive. Larry Johnson was on 9 of those plays, and on 9 of them for 53 yards on that score. 7-0 Kansas City. Johnson running hard there. Back to Greg and Dan.
Well, maybe that Johnson is JB's favorite. You can't ever tell these days.
I know one thing for sure. You take a look at that crowd and that sea of red. No question as to where they're playing.
You bet. Alon Green, the deep back behind Favre. First down from the 27. And this is Green, left side. And not much running room there.
It's really been an awkward start for Brett Favre throwing the football. He's been short on a couple throws. There's his first one of the game, a one-hopper. And there's another low one down to Amon Green. He can't handle it. This one, you got to give some credit to the New England pass coverage. They had pretty good coverage underneath, and Brett was forced to try to loft it. But a 1-for-5 start, certainly something he's not used to.
Not what he had in mind.
No.
2nd and 9. Junior Seau coming up right over center. Pass out here is complete to Greg Jennings, the rookie. Cuts it back inside, across midfield, into Patriots territory to the 46-yard line. First down, Packers.
And let's not forget that New England has some secondary problems of their own. Chad Scott, the guy in coverage at that time, moving back to corner. He has been starting as a safety, and it was a great blitz adjustment between Brett Favre and his rookie receiver, Greg Jennings. New England came on the blitz. Jennings broke off his route, and Brett got him the football before the blitzer could reach him.
Bill Belichick pointed out to us last night how he was watching film, blitzing right up the middle. Favre gets the ball away so quickly, defenders can come untouched and still not get to Brett Favre in time. He has time this time. Going to go deep. And then is incomplete. A little incidental contact down there. The fans want a flag. It's not forthcoming. Ellis Hobbs on Greg Jennings.
There was all sorts of contact. Let's see if both of them are playing the football. Ooh, that time you can see Ellis Hobbs put the arm bar out. He put the arm out in front of Jennings and should have been flagged for interference. You cannot throw that arm out like that and hit him right in the midsections. And you could midsection, and you could see where it actually interrupted Jennings running of the pattern. That's classic interference.
No call. It's 2nd and 10. Favre has the ball. Pulls it down.
What was that? It looked like it was a fake one way, and then he was turning to hand it off to someone who was a phantom. This play is going to start with a quick pump to the left. I don't know if that was a double fake. Could he possibly have been faking a pass, then faking a handoff, and then trying to find someone?
Let's just go with saying that wasn't, we're sure it wasn't the way it was drawn up.
Well, that one, That play, I know it's written on a piece of paper somewhere. It needs to go in the circular file.
3rd and 11. Favre with good protection, throws over the middle, incomplete, intended for Driver, his favorite target, but they can't connect him once again. The punting unit will come on.
Well, that was number 80 being covered by number 80. Both of them wide receivers. Troy Brown filling in as the nickel corner, working the slot receiver, really had excellent coverage that time on Donald Driver.
Troy Brown could be deep in punt coverage, but he does need a breather before he goes back on offense.
Troy Brown could drive the bus, doing everything else.
Down toward the corner of the end zone. No, straight up the middle, excuse me. And saved at the goal line. No, it's going to be a touchback. It'll come back out to the 20-yard line. We remind you, coming up tonight on 60 Minutes, Broadway Joe Namath tells the story of his life in football and the embarrassing moment on national television that changed his life forever, followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, Cold Case, and Without a Trace. That's tonight on CBS, America's #1 network.
Now there's a guy that has a little in common with Joe Namath in terms of that personality that everyone wants to gravitate towards. And Joe Namath, one of the nicest people I have ever met in my entire life.
Couldn't agree with you more.
He is a good guy through and through, and the same for number 4.
And number 4 was all fired up yesterday morning. He was going deer hunting. It was the opening of the gun season in these parts, and
pretty big deal up here.
Oh, you bet. Pretty big deal to Brett. I know that. From the 20, Brady with lots of time. Now throws this side, complete to Richey Caldwell. Out to about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, that was just good work by the Patriots up front. Tom had a chance to go from number 1 to number 2, and I think finally worked his way to number 3. And these guys might have come right from the fields.
Got a kick out of Donald Driver saying that, you know, Brett's been trying to get him to go hunting, and Donald says, I'm just not the hunting kind.
Well, he also made a fashion statement. Said, I don't look good in orange.
Corey Dillon. First down across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Charles Woodson there to make the tackle. Driver also said Brett's been trying to talk him into it. Well, maybe you can go on the other side of the woods and chase the deer back toward me.
That's an assignment I can completely understand why he said no thanks. Did he want him to wear a little pair of antlers too?
This is not the neck of the woods to wear your antler hat.
No.
Yeah, right.
There's Donald Driver. First down from the 32.
Stay as far away from Brett as you can outside of Lambeau.
Flea flicker. Brady across the middle. Looked like he might have lost the handle on that. Caldwell was the man breaking over the middle.
Caldwell was pretty decently covered. And I think Tom might have been trying to just thread that one a little too much. And you're right, he came over the top and drove it right into the ground.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. That's the Packer rookie linebacker, A.J. Hawk, who has been outstanding this season. Dillon lost the handle at the 30-yard line. Let's see if the Packers come up with it. They do.
Well, the Packers needed a break, and New England just served one up. Did Corey Dillon ever have the handle? Let's watch the exchange from Tom Brady. He never got it. The ball bounces off the right hand of Corey Dillon. He never got a chance to put that thing away. Right there, he just never gets it. And A.J. Hawk, number 50, the first Packer could hardly believe it. The ball bouncing right towards him.
Big break for Green Bay. First down at the New England 30. Straight ahead is Green for a couple. Roosevelt Colvin in on the stop. Corey Dillon with a big day in defeat last week. Ripped off a 50-yarder against the New York Jets. Longest run of the season for the New England Patriots, but as you said, he never had that one.
No, and it's really it's really uncharacteristic. Nothing you'd expect to see between a very veteran quarterback like Brady and an even more veteran running back in Dillon.
Vernon Morency along with Henderson in the backfield with Favre out of the shotgun on 2nd and 9. Favre throws far side of the field, and that's complete, but not much gain there. Morency out of the backfield, Colvin with the hit.
Those are the type of completions the defense will give up all day. Only for a couple yards, the defender is right there. And again, this is such a veteran New England defense on the front seven. Yeah, they are banged up in the secondary, but this front seven is outstanding, and it has been carrying this defense all season long.
Green Bay yet to complete a 3rd down conversion. Favre's going to go deep, down the sideline, incomplete. Intended for the rookie Jennings, and Scott was with it.
Again, it's very difficult for New England for Green Bay rather, to find anybody running free in this New England secondary so far. They haven't done anything that has confused this New England defense.
Dan, I'm a little surprised at the time Brett Favre is getting to throw with all the rookies on his offensive line and that very good front seven that we were just talking about.
Well, those rookies have been playing pretty well to this point.
Dave Rayner from 44 yards. No good.
And Corey Dillon, the happiest guy at Lambeau right now. Corey Dillon's fumble ends up in no Green Bay points.
You know, going back to that Green Bay experience, what did Brett Favre say yesterday? We often stop ourselves. We often stop ourselves.
Well, when you're trailing and you get a break like that, it is so disappointing to come away with no points whatsoever. And this ball just pushed all the way. Rayner never got it on target, and it was wide right by a pretty good margin. And Mike McCarthy knows you don't get this many opportunities to start a drive in that kind of plus territory, and to come out of it with zilch is very, very disappointing, especially when you know you're playing a superior football team.
On the exchange, they gained 4 yards. The fumble was at the 30. Brady starts from his own 34. The give is to Maroney.
Well, as we're moving towards the last couple of minutes of the first quarter, take a look at these possessions by the Green Bay Packers. As you can see, disappointment follows disappointment all the way down, and then they can't even muster a first down after the gift fumble and a missed field goal. So, woof.
2nd and 7 from the 37. Brady right over the middle, and hit right away is Jabbar Gaffney by number 36, Nick Collins, to New York and JB.
Hey, Greg and Dan, Michael Vick trying to bounce back from 2 poor performances and 2 losses here. Fakes a toss, drills a bullet 13 yards to Michael Jenkins. 4 plays, 38 yards, 7-0 Falcons. Hey, Greg, I'll stay safe and say back to my guys, Greg and Dan.
JB, thank you. We'll see those Baltimore Ravens next week. Tom Brady, 7 completions to 7 different receivers so far. Now looking at a 3rd and 3 from his own 41. Over the middle, complete. Troy Brown, first down across midfield and into Green Bay territory.
Well, and right now, the New England offensive line is doing an excellent job of giving Tom Brady a good look at the field. More often than not, he's getting a good opportunity to survey his receivers. That time, he had a good 5 seconds to finally find an open guy, and even then, he could have held it longer if he so chose.
Now from the Green Bay 47. And we get movement up front.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
That's Logan Mankins, the left guard. Say Bill Belichick was subdued when we spoke with him last night, Dan.
Well, he's unhappy. Losing a couple games in a row. They get off to a 6-1 start, and then you lose a couple in a row. He made the team go out in pads, full pads this week for a couple of practices, something that's out of the norm. Normally this time of year they don't do that.
Maroney on the pitch to midfield to about the 49. And with time continuing to wind down, that's very possibly a final play. Corey Dillon walking the sidelines and watching the rest of us with the clock winding down to end the first quarter. Our score, 7-0 New England. We're back to Green Bay after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Green Bay for the start of the second quarter and part of the accepted apparel here at Lambeau Field. 109 total yards for New England in the first quarter. Maroney in the backfield. 2nd and 12. And now no one in the backfield other than Brady.
Well, Brady was in the slot and came back, exchanged positions with Maroney.
Over the middle, complete. Maroney still on his feet and comes up short of the 40-yard line.
You got to give New England a lot of credit for ingenuity. They do some wild stuff, and that's just a good example. Tom Brady's lined up at the slot receiver. Maroney's lined up at quarterback, and then they change places.
If you've even accomplished making the defense go, what are they doing? You've accomplished something.
Well, I know one thing. The one guy that was covering Brady in the slot said, I got my man. I know that. I don't think he was afraid of getting beat on a deep post.
3rd and 3. Brady needs the 38. The give is to Falk. Kevin Falk very close to a first down. Nick Barnett with the tackle.
Let's see where they sit this.
He's short.
Yeah, he's not going to be there. Looks like almost a full yard short.
And on 4th down, Mike Vrabel, the linebacker, again appears in the offensive lineup as Belichick decides to go for it here. Packer Nation to their feet. And Heath Evans has the first down to the 35.
And I love a quick snap on a 4th and short situation. The defense is still digging in. Look at that. They haven't. Some of them are just getting to their positions. Advantage offense every time in that scenario. They get off in a unified surge, and as you can see, the defense has varying levels of getting dug in. That was really easy.
Now on 1st down. This is Maroney. To the 31, close to the 30-yard line. Cullen Jenkins, Ryan Pickett.
Number 85 there in the middle of your screen. That's Doug Gabriel, the wide receiver. Last week against the Jets. At the very bottom is the significant part. He lost the fumble after receiving the pass from Brady, and he's not been back on the field yet for the Pats.
Nor has Corey Dillon since he lost the fumble earlier in this game. Maroney to about the 27.
Last week on a really sloppy field against the New York Jets, Doug Gabriel takes this short. Hey, everything here is great. Right up to that point right there where the ball gets knocked out, the Jets recover it. And we see Gabriel, well, he came in and made the tackle. That's the last thing he's done for the Pats since. He hasn't been back in the game since last week, nor has he made an appearance this week yet.
Meanwhile, Corey Dillon has come back onto the field, and he's in on 3rd and 2 on the 10th play of this drive for the Patriots.
Dillon's doghouse obviously smaller than Gabriel's.
First down, inside the 25 to the 23.
I think Belichick has a lot more wide receivers than he has running backs. And besides, Corey Dillon If you look at the body of work and what he's accomplished for this franchise since he came over in 04 in that trade with Cincinnati, has been nothing short of outstanding. He has been, you know, he had the reputation as a troublemaker. He was unhappy in Cincinnati. His demeanor, his being a team guy in New England has been just super.
The number one active running back in yards gained with almost 11,000 on first down. Brady gonna throw, incomplete, and a penalty marker.
Yeah, that's going to be interference.
Brady Papinga trying to cover the tight end Daniel Graham.
And the crowd is going, wait a minute, we're seeing New England defensive backs muscle up on the Green Bay receivers, and now one of our guys makes contact.
Pass interference.
Here comes the flag.
Defense number 51. The spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
If you take a look at it, he's riding him all the way. You can see he's altering Graham's body. He's pushing him from behind. That was a pretty simple call for the officiating crew.
Also altered the distance from his head to the ground.
Well, these two tight ends for New England, Graham and Watson, are such threats to run way downfield. They're not the big lumbering defensive end. These two guys are quality receivers, 20 and 30 yards down the field.
Vrabel again in on offense on first and goal. Brady gonna throw to Vrabel.
Did he get that second foot down? No, I didn't think so.
Vrabel looked pretty good as a wide receiver, getting 1 foot down, but I didn't see a second one come down either.
Folks, this is a linebacker. This is a linebacker making this effort to catch the ball. Look at this. There's the left. Oh, we can see. This will show us where the right. No question about the left. Look at that catch by Mike Vrabel. Whoa! Oh, I think he taps that right toe.
Yeah, but I thought his elbow came down out behind the line
beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Corey Dillon bulls his way in for the touchdown. So it's a moot point.
Let's look at that one more time. If his elbow's on the ground, out of bounds, before the right foot taps, then he's out of bounds. Yes, you're right. Yep. The elbow's down, out of bounds. What an effort, though.
We're having a player looked at on the ground. We'll check that out in a moment. Corey Dillon was the injured Patriot. He is off the field now under his own power. Gostowski in for the extra point.
He's moving his neck around like it was something, a nerve around the shoulder area.
So it's Corey Dillon who converts from a yard out. And the Patriots build their lead to 2 touchdowns. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf, and the rest of our CBS Sports crew at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. 10:54 to play in the first half. 12 plays, 66 yards. Mike Vrabel just missing out on his 9th touchdown catch of his career. This is Morency from the goal line. Across the 20, and here comes a penalty flag flying from deep.
Vrabel was really wide open on that attempt at a touchdown, and it was a high pass from Tom Brady to a guy that was really all by himself.
Say it. Say it.
All right. How good of a pass did you really expect a Michigan quarterback to make to a linebacker from Ohio State, especially today? Okay.
Especially today.
Paybacks are tough.
You bet. Almost impossible at times. Here's Mike Carey.
There was no foul on the play. All of the action was legal.
All right. There's an all-encompassing
There's Mike
explanation.
By the way, while we're at it, Dan, I know all of football mourns the loss of Bo Schembechler, but I know that he was a man that was more than just your former coach. I know he was a dear, dear friend.
Yes, he was. Thank you for saying that. And we're in Big Ten country here, and I'm sure everyone here, while you weren't a Michigan fan, maybe at least you knew what he accomplished, and I hope there's a lot of respect there.
Favre to throw on first down. Out of the backfield is Henderson, and Henderson across the 25 to the 27-yard line.
Well, the Packers going to have to stretch this field a little bit now. 14-0. We're still 10 minutes in the second quarter. You can't, there's no need to start taking chances, but you do have to loosen this group up a little bit. The weakness of this New England defense is in the fact their secondary is banged up. If you're playing this game within 4 or 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, you're playing the game to their strength.
Pickup of 6, 2nd and 4. The give is to Green, reverses field out to the 29-yard line, and he'll be a couple of yards short of a first down. You know, these young players on the offensive line make things really unpredictable for Green Bay.
Well, the one thing they make predictable is that when they get some experience, this young Green Bay team, and it is extremely young. And there's Mark Tosher, their starting right tackle, who's got to sit this game out with a groin injury. The reality is the future for the Green Bay franchise is looking exceptionally good.
And we have a timeout on the field, 9:33 to play, second quarter. Back to Lambeau in a moment. Hey, Pro Bowl balloting's in full swing on NFL.com, and it's all in your hands. Vote for your favorite players today only at NFL.com. 3rd and 2 for Green Bay. And the Packers looking for a little momentum spark.
And looking for their second first down of the day.
That's Noah Herron in motion. Favre going to roll right. And look, and throw, and overthrew a wide open receiver, Greg Jennings. He had him available on the sideline for a first down and just missed him.
Boy, there's no other way to put it, Brett. Just the momentum to the right affected the football. The ball just kept going to the right, the same direction Brett was going. No chance for a completion. I know Brett's got a couple bad ankles. He strained a groin a little bit during practice on Thursday, and it has not been pretty, his throwing up to this point.
This is Kevin Falk from the 21. Sidesteps the first tackle. Penalty marker is down as Falk fights his way to the 29. This could be a block in the back against New England. Brett Favre having conversations with his coach, Mike McCarthy.
I don't think there's any question to this point in time. The ball has not been going where Brett has wanted it to go. He's been high, he's been to the side, he's been in the ground.
During the return, illegal block in the back. On the receiving team, number 30, 10-yard penalty. They retain possession. First down, timeout.
Penalty is on Chad Scott. Brett Favre, tough day now. 4 out of 12 for just 35 yards, and wondering where this day is going to go. Brett Favre and his heir apparent here in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. Brady going to throw over the middle, and that's incomplete. Number 85, Doug Gabriel. We were talking about him earlier and his lack of playing time. Just saw his first snap of the day.
And there was good Green Bay pressure that time in the face of Tom Brady. I think that pressure is really the reason that was a bad throw. And a lot of pressure, by the way, falls on this Green Bay defense right now with their offense's inability to do much of anything. They got to dig in, force a New England punt.
Brady gives to Maroney. Maroney tries the left side and is not going to be able to turn the corner. Run out of bounds by Charles Woodson, the cornerback.
And Charles Woodson has to rearrange his helmet after that stiff arm by Maroney. This is a really good job by Woodson of coming up in corner support, but he's going to take right there. He gets that helmet pushed off to the side. Lawrence Maroney has really exceeded expectations, and I know he's a #1 draft choice, but his ability to act like a veteran in terms of picking up blitzes, the nuances of the passing game, has been a really pleasant surprise to New England.
Big third down here for the Green Bay Packers on defense. We get flags. And it's going to be offsides against Green Bay.
On infraction. Defense, number 75, jumped into the neutral zone, causing an immediate reaction by the offensive team. It's number 74, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
That's Aaron Campman.
Aaron Campman, an extremely quick defensive end, and you can see it was his movement that forced the kind of quiver on the other side of the ball. If you're in the neutral zone, that time Daniel Graham, the tight end, gave it the quiver. But if you're in the neutral zone, you caused it, the penalty's on you.
So instead of 3rd and 8, it's now 3rd and 3 for Brady and the Patriots. He has time, throws in the flat, and that's first down yardage for Maroney. Got his shoulders squared up and bowled his way for a first down.
Somebody from Green Bay is still on the ground.
That's Cullen Jenkins, number 77. He's up now.
And I think Jenkins was the guy that was attempting to make the tackle. Take a look at it right there. Baja Biamila gets to the outside, and that is Jenkins actually who makes the hit, but too late on Lawrence Maroney.
And Jenkins now comes to the sideline. Maroney again in the backfield. First down now from the 24. And here comes big number 99, Corey Williams, up the middle.
Well, the Patriots are pointing to Williams, but I thought I saw a flinch on the Patriots offensive line.
Ball start. Offense number 68.
Yeah, I thought I saw somebody.
Still first.
Tom Brady going through his cadence. Yeah, and you can see right there, Ryan O'Callahan, number 68, the right tackle, rocked forward. But Tom Brady, that hard count he's doing and that change up in cadence is getting everybody going. That time he got one of his own.
The 3rd false start against New England. 1st and 15. Brady to a wide open Troy Brown to the 24. That'll be a 5-yard gain. And Brady, really a perfect example of a quarterback taking what he's given at this point.
Well, that's the maturity. And of course, Tom's 29 years old and winning a lot of Super Bowls and that kind of stuff. He realizes that, hey, we've got the lead. I'll take my shots when the time comes, but he'll be more than happy to just pick away 5, 6 yards at a time.
This is Maroney. Oh, hit hard at the 25-yard line and just across the 25, but Nick Collins coming up from the safety position with first contact.
Well, that's the kind of a hit you want your safety to deliver. Trying to run it right off right tackle and sitting right in the hole is Collins, who wins the leverage battle. He gets underneath Maroney. He got the pad level underneath Lawrence, lifted him, and made him come to a complete stop. You don't see that all the time.
Last time the Patriots faced a 3rd and 8, they got an offsides call.
Here comes the blitz.
Brady steps up, throws, tipped it incomplete. Number 31, Al Harris, got a hand on it before it reached Rashay Caldwell.
Boy, normally when you see a blitz that's unsuccessful, you'll see somebody running open downfield. But in this case, the Packers held coverage. Al Harris knows it's a crossing pattern. You can see him all the way. He had safety over the top with Collins and totally bracketed. That is outstanding work by the Packers because the blitz did not get there.
Hallelujah for a DB who turns around and looks for the football.
A lost start.
This punt is going to come up short of Woodson and going to roll dead at about the 37 or 38-yard line of the Packers. Pretty good field position coming up for Brett Favre. 5:46 to play in the first half. And on Tuesday, see why the New York Daily News says 3 Pounds is a show with brains and heart. Stanley Tucci stars in an all-new 3 Pounds, a new medical drama Tuesday after the unit here on CBS.
Time for the Green Bay offense to hear the wake-up alarm and realize this game is underway. They got 1 first down. Take a look at that. 4 punts, a missed field goal. Their defense forced a New England punt. Pay these guys back by putting together a drive.
On first down, to give us to Amon Green. Green going nowhere against that front. Vince Wilfork, the first guy to hit him.
Well, it has been a rocky game so far for Brett. That pass well out in front of his intended receiver. This one too long. There's been a couple of them thrown into the dirt. This one was thrown out of bounds to where Jennings had no, and we're all kind of wondering, Brett. I know that wasn't the intent, but it is certainly what's happening to this point. 4 out of 12, completing only a third of his passes.
2nd and 9. Favre going to roll it this way, and look, and overthrows his intended receiver.
And right now, this has got to become a concern for Mike McCarthy. It's not like you're going to give Brett the hook, but is there something wrong? Is there something wrong with his, everyone, up here knows Brett's got a couple of ankles that are being a little balky, causing him some pain and concern with some bone spurs. And then Thursday in practice, he did, to what extent, nobody knows, injure a groin. McCarthy said he's fine. It's not that big a deal. But right now, 4 out of 13 is becoming a big deal.
He has missed the rookie Jennings on a number of occasions. Now looking at a 3rd and 9. Favre has time, wide open, and missed him. David Martin, the tight end, was wide open at the 30-yard line, and Brett missed him too.
And I can't imagine how frustrated Brett Favre is right now. Out of the cluster, this is exactly what you want to have happen. Finding a hole in that New England zone, and just no chance of a completion, overthrown severely. And this right now is a major concern for Green Bay. Brett's inability to throw a good ball.
John Ryan kicks it away, and it takes a Patriot bounce at about the 25 up to about the 27-yard line. So Favre wandering the sidelines, looking for answers within himself.
Well, he's going to talk to some of his receivers. And again, it has been a rejuvenated Brett Favre that we've seen the last couple weeks going into the Metrodome. The big win last week, the exuberance, picking up Donald Driver, carrying him around. It made everybody feel so great to see Brett having fun again, having the kind of, one thing we know for sure, he is not having fun right now. That kind of performance, that's eating away at him.
Just last week, he racked up a season-high 347 yards against Minnesota. This is his 231st consecutive start. Now Brady in the Patriot offense on 1st down from the 29. And Brady will throw. Steps up, nowhere to go, and down at the 23. And now we have a marker down at the 40-yard line. This could be against Al Harris and the Packers.
Holding defense number 31 on an eligible receiver. 5-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
Well, that might explain one of the reasons why Tom Brady was having difficulty finding somebody
who wasn't being held.
Yes, because a lot of the Packers were in on a blitz. That was a sellout blitz by the Green Bay defense. Bob Sanders, their defensive coordinator, bringing everybody, and it just backfires on you when you get that automatic 1st down penalty.
1st down at the 34 for the Patriots. Maroney. Easy. Squeezes through. Close to the 39. A.J. Hawk, the rookie. It was fun talking with Brady last night, and then earlier in the day with A.J. Hawk, the rookie out of Ohio State. These guys, their attention, fully focused on this game, but always in the back of their mind, Michigan, Ohio State.
Well, A.J. Hawk could not have...
And yours too, I might add.
Yeah, no question. A.J. Hawk could not have had a better career at Ohio State. He's such a fabulous combination of speed. This guy can really rock it, but he's also 245 pounds, and this guy is not playing like a rookie at all. He's got veteran qualities already.
Quick pass to the near side, and that's complete to Watson, and Watson out of bounds across the 40 at the 42. That'll put him about a yard or two shy of a 1st down.
And when in Rome, I guess they think they're blending in. All the way from New England, we got their version of the cheesehead, and I guess that's That's paying homage to
something of a conciliatory gesture.
That's
yes.
paying homage to a great tradition.
3rd and 2. Maroney trying the left side, has a first down across the 45 to the 46. So the Patriots move the chains. And Brady taking a walk over to the far sideline to get a little clarification, and now he's on his way back.
Keep in mind here, as New England tries to score before the end of the first half, that they don't have their full complement of timeouts left.
New England has 1 and Green Bay has 2.
They've had to burn a couple.
Brady play fakes to Maroney this time, steps up, throws deep, wide open is Riche Caldwell for the touchdown.
I would say right now that having 1 timeout left, not a major concern for New England. Tom Brady, after being so patient, pounding away with Maroney and Dillon, goes to the play action. And finds Caldwell all by himself. And we talked earlier on about the middle of the field, attacking the safety position was what they were going to do against the Green Bay Packers. And once again, they find a guy in the middle of the field all by himself.
Gostowski's kick is good. Riche Caldwell's 3rd touchdown catch of the year is New England's longest passing play of the season. 54 yards. It's a 3-touchdown lead for New England with 2:22 to play in the half. You know, Riche Caldwell, why wouldn't you be all smiles when touchdowns come that easy? You know things are going well for you.
No, that's one of those where you're going, oh, please get here, and because that ball seems to hang in the air forever. Man, was he wide open, and Tom delivered a perfect strike right in full stride to Caldwell.
Brady's 2nd touchdown pass of the day. And Brett Favre just looking to get something going. Gostowski's kick is to the 2, and this is Morency. To about the 24-yard line. Let's go back to a wide open touchdown.
Well, it's just a great move. Right here is Caldwell, and as he goes down, this guy right here is the safety, Marquand Manuel, and watch the move right here, the Caldwell. Right there, he splits it to the, like he's going to run a corner, comes back to the post, and he makes Manuel do a complete 360. He spins him all the way around, takes him utterly out of the play. And again, the middle of the field, a real bugaboo area for the Pack.
Troy Brown is in the secondary for New England. And this is to Amon Green, and this is going nowhere. Richard Seymour all over the ball carrier as we wind our way to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in Green Bay. 21-0 New England. While you look upon Rudolph the Cable Reindeer, we'll remind you coming up the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan Shannon, and Boomer have all the latest NFL scores and highlights, all coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
Well, this crowd has been patient so far. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to last.
2nd and 13 from 22. Favre with time, throws, and that's complete across the 35. A marker is down, and Donald Driver's off to the races. Out of bounds just inside the 40-yard line of New England. Now let's check the flag.
Yeah, you can see the marker come into your picture after Driver caught the ball. You can see the one official saying it's holding.
Before the pass, holding, defense number 80 is declined. Play results in a first down.
That's on Troy Brown.
Well, finally, the Packers, who before that play had 39 yards of offense, finally come up with a big play. Right there's the hold, number 80, Troy Brown. He really grabbed a hold of Driver. And, of course, Driver, kind of a strong guy at 195 pounds. Troy Brown fighting an uphill battle there.
See that last play for 38 yards, eclipsing all that Favre had thrown for thus far.
Well, they doubled their offense.
Favre running out of time and goes down midfield.
Ooh, did he get caught awkwardly around the legs? That was really, you could see Brett got caught on the lower, and now it looks like he's almost his right arm. Something's wrong with his right elbow.
And we're going to have a timeout here with 1:41 to play. Tully Banta-Cain along with Teddy Bruschi were in on the sack.
You could see that Brett had someone, was that Banta-Cain down around his ankles, and he was in a hard, a very difficult position trying to defend himself.
And you saw Aaron Rodgers getting a helmet on and getting loosened up as we take another look.
Okay, now Brett has time, but he can't find anybody. But right here, he can't get away from it. Oh, and he kind of lands on his right shoulder. But Banta-Cain has both of his legs wrapped up. And you got to wonder if right there when he landed, after Teddy Bruschi drove him to the ground.
And number 4 is going to come off the field.
Keep in mind, folks, you're looking at one of the true Iron Men and one of the toughest guys that's ever walked on a football field at any level.
We mentioned a little earlier, this is 231st consecutive start. He stands 11 touchdown passes shy of Dan Marino's all-time mark of 420 career touchdown passes. And Aaron Rodgers comes onto the field.
Well, those are his career numbers. For the season, Aaron Rodgers has attempted only 3 passes this year, completed 2 of them.
And the ball is at midfield. Rodgers is looking at a 2nd and 20 from the 50-yard line. We were talking with Mike McCarthy yesterday about Aaron Rodgers, and does he see Rodgers as the kind of quarterback that can step in when Brett Favre decides to step aside? And he said, absolutely. He has the talent, he has the ability.
Well, and he certainly, all of last year, his rookie year, he's had a chance to study at the feet of the master. Certainly getting to watch Brett Favre work every day, talk to him about why do you go this direction? But it was all talk before, now it's play.
And he'll come out throwing here. 2nd and 20, they're going to blitz him. Rodgers throws far side, incomplete. Intended for Ruvell Martin.
Let's go back and revisit the play where Brett Favre, does he hit his hand? Let's take a look at it right here. This is, right there now. He's caught down around the lower legs. Let's really focus on the right arm. I can't see nothing happens other than when he gets driven into the ground. But he almost looks like he's grabbing his wrist a little bit.
On 3rd and 20, Rodgers throws, incomplete. And that'll bring the punting unit on with 1:32 to play in the first half. And Favre still being looked at on the sideline.
John Ryan will punt for the Patriots. Kevin Falk.
Kevin Falk deep for the kick, coming from John Ryan. And fair catch called for by Falk, and he muffed it and covered it back at the 15.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted by the Packers by not having anybody close to Falk when he muffs that punt. It's pretty apparent that Brett Favre is having difficulty getting his right hand to work properly, and 1 minute he's looking at the forearm, the hand, the wrist.
Well, that'll be a pretty interesting halftime conversation. See how Brett Favre feels before coming out here in the second half.
1st and 10 from the 16.
Well, you were right, Dan. You talked about one of the true Iron Men in this league.
If ever there times the Patriots are just going to kneel on the ball and run out the first half. If ever there was just tape it up, coach, and put me back in guy, it's Brett Favre. You certainly don't want to do anything foolish to jeopardize your health, but we will try to get a report from the Packers as quickly as we can as to specifically what it is.
And should Favre not be able to continue, then the pressure falls to second-year quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
And when you say the pressure falls, it's tough enough replacing Brett Favre if the ball game was even, much less being down to the Patriots 21-0.
And with that kneel down, that'll do it for the first half. Brett Favre gets the ride to the locker room. Packer Nation holds its collective breath. And meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers will try to regroup because they're on the short end of a 21-0 game here at Lambeau Field. The word early is that it's his elbow, his throwing elbow, and that his return is questionable, but you know that'll be analyzed and dissected at halftime. It's the end of the first half, 21-0 New England. The Sprint Halftime Report is after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
I'm James Brown in New York, and coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, all the scores and highlights from Week 11. The Sprint Halftime Report is next.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, together with Nextel. Power up.
All right, and welcome back to New York, everyone. I'm James Brown with the Sprint Halftime Report, along with Dan Shannon and Boomer. Brett Favre hurt his arm in the first half. We'll keep you updated on that. Aaron Rodgers is in. Tom Brady, meanwhile, his first ever trip to Lambeau, enjoying a 21-0 Patriots on top. As we move along, boom.
Hey, surprise, surprise. The Bears are being outplayed by the Jets, but the Jets make a key error right here as Chad Pennington throws an interception. The great one, Brian Urlacher, he's going to take it back 34 yards. How about the Bears? Only 7 yards passing for Rex Grossman. He's sacked right here. Official yardage is -1 yard passing for the Bears as they are being outplayed but not outscored by the Jets.
Bears looking for the sweep in New York. Dan.
And Miami comes out with the drive all the way down the field. Then they muff the handoff. Ronnie Brown fumbles it. Minnesota picks it up. Then what do? They go to length of the field, and Chester Taylor dives over, giving Minnesota a 7-0 lead. And Joey Harrington, pretty good first half, 17 for 23. And this touchdown right here to Justin Peel, and it's a 3-point lead by the Dolphins.
Remarkable in that the Dolphins have -13 yards rushing in the first half. Boom.
Well, here's something you don't see very often, and that's J.P. Lossman. He has 219 yards passing in the first half, let alone the whole game. How about Lee Evans? This is the first of one touchdown for 83 yards. And we're going to show you a replay right here. It's not the replay of the replay we just saw. This is a completely different play.
But it is a replay.
It's another 83-yard touchdown reception by Lee Evans, who has 205 yards receiving as they start the third quarter.
Dan, I think you're right. With that in mind, Dan, take it.
Hey, Vince Young, young quarterback right here, rolls. He got guys hanging all over him, comes up with a good throw, shows his strength. Ben Troop comes up with a nice catch, putting Tennessee up 7-0. Then McNabb in the offense for the Eagles have been struggling all day. He rolls to his right, gets knocked out of bounds, lands awkwardly. They say it's his right knee. He's being looked at in the locker room right now. Jeff Garcia came in to replace Donovan McNabb, and they're not certain exactly when he'll be back, or they're just...
And we will keep you updated on that one for sure, Dan, as Tennessee trying to end a 2-game losing streak. As a matter of fact, Shannon said that Washington didn't do anything particularly well in the first half, nor Tampa, so no highlights. Jason Campbell, though, 5 of 10 for 51 yards in that one. Dan.
And here, Reuben Drones. Shannon calls him the party starter. He's not playing today, but Ben Roethlisberger throws it high right here. It's picked off by Devin Hawley. This is his first career interception for a touchdown. He goes 57 yards.
You haven't got that
puts
name
the
right yet.
What is it?
Davin,
whatever. It's Hawley. He goes in for a touchdown. Here's another interception by Willie McGinnis, and also Roethlisberger throws another interception, so that's 3 for him.
Call him anything. He scored, Dan. That's right. Shannon.
Mike Vick makes the handoff to Jerry Norwood. Slide, gets outside, 11 yards, first down, which would lead to this play right here. They're going to play fake again, slide to the left. Michael Jenkins, 13-yard touchdown. And this is where we are at the half. 7-0 Falcons on top of the Ravens.
And, of course, Falcons trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Boom!
Ball's all over the place in the dome tonight, guys. Watch Carson Palmer right here, right down the field. 41, nicely thrown ball to Chad Johnson, 7-0 Bengals.
Ocho Cinco.
Ocho Cinco, there you go. Okay, back comes Drew Brees off of a flea flicker. He's going to find Joe Horn. You said that he was playing today, and he's had a big game thus far. Marcus Colston, by the way, is hurt for the Saints. The rookie sensation wide receiver. Bengals lead 10-7.
That talented rookie that Dan likes so well, Shannon.
Jake Delhomme, if you're going to go far, you can't do this. Throwing the quadruple cover is going to be picked off by Jerome Carter, who returns this ball to the 45-yard line, sets the Rams up in great field position. They don't capitalize, but this guy here, he has more speed than anybody on the field. And watch me, Max, excellent PlayStation 3 that I picked up Friday as I waited in line. Touchdown, 62 yards, 10-0. Carolina on top, JB.
TD, otherwise known as.
In line for that PlayStation. Yep. Hey, here's Larry Johnson. This is what Kansas City needs. Run the ball against the Raiders. He goes in for a 5-yard touchdown. Aaron Brooks, who's starting again for the Raiders. Wide open. Courtney Anderson. They're celebrating. The Raiders are up. 13-7.
With Aaron Brooks at the helm, Trent Green starting back for Kansas City. All right, folks, we're going to send you back out to the second half. Patriots and Packers after this.
Well, what happened?
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, together with Nextel. Power up.
Brady gonna keep it and throw this side. Touchdown. Daniel Graham, the tight end. So it's Corey Dillon who converts from a yard out. Throws deep, wide open is Richey Caldwell for the touchdown. Welcome back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, everyone. Along with Dan Deerdorf, I'm Greg Gumbel. 21-0 Patriots in the lead. 2 stories to this game. One is the complete and total dominance of the Green Bay Packers by New England. The other is the status of Brett Favre. Let's first talk about this game, Dan.
Well, it's like a heavyweight fighter. The bigger, stronger guy leans on the lighter guy, and eventually it takes a toll. Tom Brady couldn't have started this game any better, just throwing the football all over the place. A touchdown pass to Graham. Then he comes back, and it's converting a couple different 4th downs, one for a touchdown. But then this ends up being the story. Brett Favre, his team already trailing 21-0, goes down in a sack. And right now, we're not sure where it goes from here. We know he's been replaced by Aaron Rodgers, Greg.
And the status when Favre went into the locker room is that he had an elbow injury. Now, as to what's happened in the locker room in the meantime, we don't know and probably won't know until the Packers take the field again. But we've seen it before where backup quarterbacks have been unexpectedly called on. Some perform well, some don't.
Well, the reality was the Green Bay offense could get nothing going at all in the first half. Brett was really not throwing the ball well at all. I am not in any way insinuating that this is a good thing, but maybe there'll be a little spark here. Maybe something could happen. Although in my mind, I don't know how anything other than Brett Favre could be good for your club.
And we are told right now that as the teams warm up for the second half, Brett Favre has not yet reappeared from the locker room. You saw Aaron Rodgers throwing on the sideline. Brett Favre is inside working on his throwing motion and apparently still trying to figure out whether or not he's going to be able to perform here in the second half. Second half is now underway, and you know these Packer fans are all holding their breath and wondering whether or not they are going to see their favorite player again today.
Well, they're holding their breath now. In the first half, most of the half, they were scratching their head, wondering how could Brett be all over the stadium like he was throwing the ball. He was high, low, outside, just about every conceivable way.
How's this for a first half number, Dan? The Packers had 5 pass completions and punted 6 times.
Yeah, they're just unacceptable, and again, put their defense on the field way too much, and the Patriots took advantage.
First down from the 29, and Brady gives to Maroney. Corey Dillon had suffered an injury in the first half and has not seen that much action. And Maroney's been doing the lion's share of the work out of the backfield.
Yeah, Corey Dillon scored a touchdown from a yard out and took a blow to the head and shoulder region, and that's where he got hurt on the touchdown run.
Double tight end now.
Good news there. Dillon's got his chin strap buttoned up. That's always a sign that a guy's getting ready to, at least he wants to come back in.
Brady, good protection. Throws over the middle, incomplete, intended for Jabbar Gaffney. We were inquiring of Tom Brady as to his health, and he says, you know, a lot of guys get muscle injuries, and he said, I have no muscle to injure.
He said, pull a hamstring? I don't have a hamstring. He actually referred to himself as Gumby. He said, you know, when they hit me back there, I'm just able to bend in all sorts of different directions. Knock on wood. I hope he's right, but he's got a great sense of humor about it.
Brady looks at a 3rd and 6. Over the middle, complete, Caldwell, and Caldwell to the 40-yard line and appears to have enough for the first down. And here comes Brett Favre. And the fans down at that end of the field cheering and rising to their feet.
Well, they love him like no other, and justifiably so.
Meanwhile, first down for New England from their own 40-yard line. Maroney to the 45, maybe the 46-yard line.
And you just get the sense right now that we're going to see that over the years what has made the Patriots, and that is, this is a team without a whole lot of mercy. This is a team that can be relentless. And there, again, we're seeing it 5 yards at a time, just pounding away, moving the chains, eating up the clock, and coming at you down the field.
20. Easy, 130. Back, reload.
Brady barking out all kinds of names and numbers. And Maroney, left side, first down, turns the corner to about the Green Bay 40, and another first down.
Oh, and Nick Collins saved an even bigger play because Maroney was trying to keep from going out of bounds. But look at the hole. I mean, just take a look at that hole. Even the wide receivers are in there. Gaffney making a block, but right there, it's the tackle I'm talking about from Collins.
Brett Favre throwing on the sideline. Meanwhile, I'm going to ask our viewers to remember that run that Lawrence Maroney just made, because it looks amazingly like a run he made back in high school. Maroney in the back behind Brady on first down. Play fake. And Brady throws incomplete.
And are we talking about, you mean when he was at Normandy High School in St. Louis, Missouri? Check it out. Here he comes, Lawrence Maroney.
And there he goes.
Yep.
And then I think he'll cut back to the inside here momentarily.
And he ran all the way to Minneapolis to play for the Golden Gophers after Illinois stopped recruiting him where he thought he was going to go. And then he told us, I just wanted to go someplace that played Illinois. He wanted to get a little revenge.
Corey Dillon is now back into the game, and he takes the handoff. Hit at the 40, bulls his way forward. Cullen Jenkins made first contact.
Well, that is really a good sign that Brett Favre is starting to warm up, because the thing you fear the most is they go in there, you know, it gets some x-rays or something like that, and if there's some sort of a crack, well, there's Logan Mankins, left guard of the Patriots. So at least Tom throwing, that's somewhat of a good sign.
11:54 to play in the third quarter. We'll step aside for a moment. Logan Mankins injured on that last play, sitting on the sideline, sporting the beard that has become so popular on that New England offensive line. And Tom Brady has begun sprouting a beard himself.
Always do what your offensive linemen do. You need those guys.
Brady looking at 3rd and 8. Needs the 30-yard line for a first down. Russ Holstein in for the injured Mankins. Brady hit as he let it go, and that pass is incomplete down the sideline. Intended for Jabbar Gaffney, and Patrick Dendy was covering.
And this time the Green Bay pressure got to Tom Brady. It's going to be coming around from the backside. You can see Baja Biamila coming in from behind, and then right in the face, Jenkins gets a hit on him. Tom tries to go to single coverage, but just really, really good coverage downfield by Dendy.
So Josh Miller to kick it away. Charles Woodson back at his own 10-yard line.
And who's going to come out for quarterback for Green Bay?
Fair catch called for, and Woodson makes it at the 10. And let's check the sideline. Brett Favre getting his arm rubbed, and Aaron Rodgers is going to at least start this series at quarterback. But you know, Brett Favre doesn't look like he's done for the day.
Well, I don't think anybody needs me to tell them that if he possibly can in any way, he will. I'm sure Brett is trying to keep in mind he doesn't want to compromise his team, but down 21-0, Rodgers he's got a full plate in front of him.
Rodgers 0 for 2 throwing the ball so far. Rolling right, looking and throwing, and has his first completion across the 25 to the 27 to Donald Lee, the tight end.
Well, smart call by Jeff Jagodzinski, the offensive coordinator for Green Bay. Put Rodgers on the move. Buy him a lot of extra time. Let him get out there. He really, really operates well on the move, and that gave one of his receivers a chance to get open. He's finally able to find Donald Lee, but that's smart. Put him on the move like that. Get out of that pocket.
His first completion good for 16 yards. First down now from the 26, and the give is to Amon Green. And Green going nowhere against the right side of that line. Ty Warren standing him up and making the stop. A lot of talent in that front three of the New England Patriots. A lot of early round draft choices.
Oh, you think? Why? Because they're all in the first round?
Second and 10 from the 26. You saw by numbers the futility that the Packers are feeling today. Rodgers dodges the rush, throws complete, and across the 30 is Bubba Franks with his first reception of the day.
Well, it appears to be, at least to this point, Aaron Rodgers' comfort zone. Drifting out there to the right side. He's going to have to change it up, though, and we'll see sooner or later, see if he can do it to his left. This Green Bay offense has just been so stagnant, and their inability to rush the football is putting an inordinate amount of pressure on the passing game.
You know, sooner or later that New England defense is going to put the youngster to a test too. Rodgers on the move again and throws incomplete.
Well, that one wasn't by design. That one was because his pocket completely disintegrated. And only a four-man rush by the Patriots, and they won their battles up front. Nothing exotic here. It's just the four-man rush and a breakdown up front. And Jarvis Green forces Rodgers to run for his life.
That's Kevin Falk back at his own 30-yard line. And John Ryan, who's been doing a lot of this today, kicks it away end over end and takes a Green Bay bounce inside the 25 to the 22. 9:10 to play, third quarter. New England still holding on to a 21-point lead. Welcome back to historic Lambeau Field. The fans less than enthused about what's taken place so far. 21-0 New England. The Patriots with the ball at their own 22. The give is to Corey Dillon. And Dillon may have gotten a yard.
Well, for those of you that weren't with us in the first half, it was towards the end of the first half that Brett Favre went down awkwardly on a sack. You can see he's wrapped up and unable to break his fall. As he goes down, he lands on his right shoulder and his right arm, and he injures his right elbow. But you can see that it's causing some sort of a disturbance all the way down towards the wrist and the hand. And Brett Favre has not been able to come back. Aaron Rodgers has replaced him. And as you saw by that graphic, before he got hurt, Brett was having a really difficult day passing.
On 2nd and 9, this is Dillon. And Dillon crosses the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Marquand Manuel up from his safety position after a gain of 4.
And Green Bay has just been putting their defense out on the field, their inability to do anything offensively, and it hasn't, you know, by and large, they haven't played all that poorly, but they've given up a couple big plays. They're really attacking New England on the running game. They're hitting hard. They're trying, but with getting no help from their offense, this Patriot team, which is superior to begin with, is just wearing them down.
And now 3rd and 5, Brady out of the shotgun. Here comes the blitz in the backfield. Incomplete. Maroney off his hands. It'll be 4th down.
Now Maroney was looking downfield trying to figure out what was going to be the first move I was going to put on after I catch it, and he forgot the first step is to catch it.
In recapping, Dan, the Packers situation today, in all honesty, they had their opportunities and their offensive chances, and it was Favre who was misfiring in the first half.
Maybe they get a special teams lift.
From the 40, it's Woodson. And he didn't get very far.
And I think that's Charles Woodson's helmet, is it not?
Mike McCarthy will say better the helmet than the football. Corey Mays with the hit. Coming back to Green Bay after this. The New York Jets were ecstatic last week with a victory over New England, moved them to within a game of the Patriots. But today, the Jets are trailing Chicago, Buffalo, and Miami, the other wannabes in the AFC East, also in action, but not in the picture right now. That pass almost intercepted by Teddy Bruschi, and he had nothing but clear sailing ahead of him.
Boy, this is nothing more than Aaron Rodgers taking the snap, coming right up and throwing it. 1, 2, 3, quick release, and a perfect strike to Ted Bruschi, who rarely blows a big opportunity like that.
Teddy Bruschi had 2 interception returns for touchdowns back in 02 and then 2 more in the 03 season.
A big plays just follow Bruschi around, and that was one of the easier ones.
Rodgers throws, and that one just short of midfield to Donald Driver, who makes the diving grab at about the 48-yard line.
Pretty good effort by Donald Driver right here, just making a square out and headed to the sideline.
And once again, 80 on 80.
Yep, take a look at that. Anytime you're in the slot, you're going to draw the coverage from number 80, Troy Brown, the wide receiver who's having to play in the defensive backfield. But again, the reality was nice completion, great effort for very few yards.
3rd and 6. Rodgers going to have time and is going to tuck it in and run, and he's out of bounds at the 45, and that's enough for a 1st down.
Well, heads up play by Aaron Rodgers, but let's check in on the coverage. Check this press coverage. Troy Brown working on Donald Driver. He's, you know, bumping him, getting his hand. Driver's trying to screen himself, and finally Donald Driver decides, I'm no longer a receiver, I'll become a blocker, and he screens him off. But this guy, how can he do any more for his club?
What a testament to his ability, Dan, to be able to play defense when needed at this level.
How admirable is that?
Rodgers,
the ultimate team player.
On 1st down, runs out of time. Ty Warren and Mike Vrabel were in on Rodgers.
Well, there's Mike Vrabel. He's going to be number 50. They're clear at the top. And when Aaron Rodgers tries to go, he's met by the 2 of them right there. Just a complete pocket breakdown. And Mike McCarthy trying to figure out, I'm not sure what to call. I'm not sure what, you know, a big chunk of it goes out the window when Brett Favre goes to the sideline. Now you've got to try to get the plays that Rodgers can execute.
2nd and 16. Rodgers on the move, going to turn the corner and run to midfield, diving forward to the 46. Vrabel again in on the play.
Well, the only good news about Aaron Rodgers is that it's at home. When he has to come into a situation like this, replacing the injured Brett Favre. The really bad news is he's trying to do this against one of the more complicated and complex defensive schemes in the National Football League.
As you mentioned earlier, injury riddled in the secondary, but that front seven so talented it makes up for a lot. From the shotgun, Rodgers throws in the flat to Morency. Morency breaks free to the 40-yard line, but that'll be about 5 yards shy of a first down.
Well, Aaron Rodgers looking to the sideline saying, do you want us to go for it on 4th and about 5?
And no one is coming out from the field goal unit.
You got to go for it. Why not?
Be a pretty hefty kick from this distance anyway.
Well, the change in field position, it's too far for a field goal. And the reality is the change of field position on a punt might be, what, 15 or 20 yards? Unless you got lucky and pinned them inside. Why not? Down 21-0.
This 6-play drive, the longest of the day for the Packers, who are looking at a 4th and 5. Throwing on the sideline, that is incomplete. Behind the intended receiver, Ruvell Martin. Chad Scott on the coverage. Ball goes over on downs. 4:08 to play in the third. Historic and beautiful Lambeau Field in Green Bay. 4:08 to play in the third quarter, and Brady and the Patriots on the attack. Brady with time, throws, oh, what a pass to the 40-yard line. Chad Jackson right on the money, a first down.
Well, having success playing an NFC opponent, something not new to Tom Brady in the last couple of years. Take a look at his numbers. 16 touchdowns against only 3 interceptions in his 4 wins out of 5 games and a rating of over 109. Tom must look at the schedule and circle when we're playing somebody from the other conference. And
this is Maroney, and there's not much there. That previous play, Chad Jackson made the 8th different receiver that Brady is connected with today, and that's become a hallmark of the New England offense.
Well, this offense has got a lot of balance to it, and I think every week that goes by, there just seems to be a little more familiarity with Tom and his wide receiver core. Looking at guys there, Chad Jackson, and even Troy Brown. He's everywhere.
Brady throws underneath, and that's complete to Ben Watson. And Watson inside the 25. We get an NFL Today update from JB in New York.
Hey, Greg and Dan, take a look here. After a 59-yard punt return by B.J. Sams, Jamal Lewis untouched 2 yards to pay dirt. That capped a 7-play, 17-yard drive. 10-7 Baltimore on top of the Falcons. Back to Greg and Dan.
All right, JB. See how the Ravens have done in tight games. We will be in Baltimore a week from today as the Ravens take on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, they have a lot of experience playing tight games. Hard to score on them.
Brady throws, and that is complete. How was that completed? Inside the 20-yard line to Troy Brown. To JB once again.
Hey, Greg, ask Dan if they put silicone on uniforms back in this day, because I'm telling you, Travis Henry must have it here up the gut. Touched, but they slip and slide. 70 yards to pay dirt. A career long for Travis Henry. He's got 13 carries for 133 yards and a touchdown. They're on top of Philly. Back to Greg and Dan.
Players didn't do that in your day, did they, Dan?
Yes, they did. Is Jeff Fisher a coach?
Inside the 10. Look at the bully.
That's
Lawrence Maroney. All the way to the 8-yard line.
And again, it's just the Patriots just leaning on the Packers, just exerting their will, and it's nothing fancy. It's just physical football. And this Packer defense, which has gotten zero help from their offense, just starting to yield yardage in some pretty good chunks. And I don't know that Mike, if he's got an answer for this.
15 rushing yards for Green Bay all day. First and goal now, New England from the 8. Brady will throw for it. Has time. Corner of the end zone. Diving catch for the touchdown.
Oh, what a throw by Tom Brady to Watson. Are you kidding me? What a strike from Tom Brady. It starts with the fact that he's got all sorts of time to square up and look at a perfect pass. Was that ball being juggled by Ben Watson as he went out of bounds?
Watson with the diving catch.
This is going to give us a look. He's got to put it securely away. There was a little bobble there on his way down.
But nothing yet from the Packer sideline in the way of a challenge. And it doesn't appear one's forthcoming.
What a beautiful throw from Tom Brady. Absolutely perfect.
Gostkowski's kick is perfect. And with 43 seconds to play in the third quarter, the Patriots have extended their lead to 28-0. Just 43 seconds to play in the third quarter, and you mentioned it earlier in the day, Dan, that 2 consecutive losses by the New England Patriots, and people kind of thought they might have been 3-6 instead of 6-3 because such things just aren't expected. 2 yards deep in the end zone, Vernon Morency, 15, 20, and forward to about the 24, maybe the 25-yard line.
Well, it was such a good week for Brett and the Packers last week in a place where they just never played well at the Metrodome. There's Brett Favre after a long touchdown pass to Donald Driver, carries Driver, and unfortunately for Brett, it's now a cart carrying him into the locker room at right before half. And for those of you who haven't been with us, Brett has been out of this game so far in the second half with an injury to his elbow on his throwing arm, his right arm.
From the 24-yard line, Rodgers hands to Ahman Green, and Green out across the 30. It'll be marked at the 30-yard line. Teddy Bruschi with the tackle.
And that's about the first running play of the day that got any rise from the crowd at all, as it looked like Green almost broke one.
That 6-yard run is the longest run of the day for the Green Bay Packers. We're in the final 15 seconds of the third quarter. Green is the lone back again, and he gets the ball on 2nd and 4, and he pulls his way to within a yard of a first down, and that'll wrap the third quarter. 28-0 New England. Back to Green Bay after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
And it's a special place. This is where football started. It's always fun leading the team against a guy like Brett Favre, because I've looked up to him, and he still sets a hell of an example of what it means to be a professional quarterback.
Tom Brady is very much looking forward to this matchup with Favre. They had met only once before. And Brady 0-1 against the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers on 3rd and 1 spreads the field. And we get a whistle and a timeout. Patriots call timeout.
I don't think they were expecting the Packers to spread the field on 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 from the 34.
That's quite a note. The Green Bay Packers have not been shut out twice in a season in this stadium. They were shut out by the Bears week 1. 3rd and 1. Rodgers throws, and that's broken up by Mike Vrabel, intended for Bubba Franks.
I'll tell you something that's pretty doggone impressive. 28-0 at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and I don't see an empty seat anywhere here at Lambeau Field. I'm not sure that happens in most NFL stadiums.
You're right. So on 4th and 1, John Ryan will kick for the 8th time today. Kevin Falk from his 17 and not much further forward to the 20. That's where Brady and the Patriots will go back to work, and we'll remind you coming up next. Peyton Manning and the unbeaten Indianapolis Colts bring their A game to Big D. They'll battle T.O. and the Dallas Cowboys here on the home of Super Bowl 41, CBS Sports. What's your opinion, Mr. Deerdorf? Can Peyton Manning take the Colts to an undefeated season?
Odds are against them because, again, they'll be faced with a dilemma if they get down, if they get to that point. The last couple of weeks of the season, do you rest your guys and get ready for the playoffs?
Tony Dungy has said he will.
Yeah. I think this is a real, this is a formidable team they're going to play today in Dallas. I don't think anyone should be surprised if Dallas beats Indianapolis today.
On 1st down, Corey Dillon goes nowhere, and just a couple of minutes ago, Brett Favre left the field once again. Start of the day, we saw Brett emerge from that tunnel, and the way he trotted back up, it's doubtful now that I'd be surprised if we saw him again the rest of the day.
Oh, I agree with you. I think that pretty much sealed the deal there.
2nd and 11 for Brady. Running out of time, and he lost the football. It's free, still free, and it appears the Patriots covered it at the 23.
How many opportunities did Green Bay have? They got a good look at the football. Their coach can't believe it. The ball is just lying there on the ground, and nobody's able to make a play on it. Look at that. There it goes. It looked like it was going to be recovered by Matt Light. He didn't get a shot at it. Keeps rolling around. Finally, Dan Copen, the center, is able to get on top of it.
Tom Brady, somebody with a beard, please fall on that for me.
Well, that pretty much encompasses everybody up front for him.
3rd and 8 now. And a timeout. Green Bay calls the timeout. 13:20 to play, 4th quarter. Patriots 28 with the beards, and the clean-shaven Packers nothing.
Hair everywhere.
Back at Lambeau Field. And the Hunters, straight from the woods to the stadium. 3rd and 8.
Greg, those were girls.
Yes, I know. With Huntress? Should I have said Huntress? Brady with time, throws. Oh, another fine pitch and catch. Ben Watson on the receiving end again, out of bounds at the 36 and a 1st down.
And A.J. Hawk was running right with Benjamin Watson. I don't think that Hawk is used to running with a guy like this, and you know, it's just a perfect pass. That's the only way he gets beat, is right over to the outside shoulder, to the sideline shoulder. The perfect toss by Tom Brady, who has been really, really sharp today.
Meanwhile, Ben Watson, 5 catches for 74 yards and a touchdown, and this is Corey Dillon. Dillon off left tackle to about 38, maybe to 39. You know, there's nothing that stifles a rumor running around than a good outing, is there?
No. And again, you know, everybody, there's no question that Tom has been hit more this year. He's really taken some awkward shots and some, you know, he's been down on the ground and it looks like he's hurt, but he really wanted to put it to rest, because this week when they signed Vinny Testaverde, it really got everybody going, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with Tom Brady. And he really went out of his way yesterday when we talked to him to say, I am fine. In fact, not only am I fine, I really feel better than I've felt in a long time.
2nd and 8. Brady with time, all kinds of time, and he throws it away on the near side.
And well, we're talking about how well he's been throwing the ball today. Let's do touchdown passes count. The first one's to Daniel Graham in the back of the end zone. Here comes number 2, and this nice strike to Riche Caldwell. Is there another one? Why, by gosh, there is. A perfect throw to Benjamin Watson, his tight end. And really, he had Mike Vrabel, the linebacker, in the back of the end zone, and he threw a high pass to him. If he would have thrown it down a little, Tom would have 4 TD passes today.
As it is, he's 19 for 10 at 29 with 225 yards and 3. This is a 3rd and 8. Blitz tosses it up, and it is incomplete on the near sideline, intended for Kevin Falk out of the backfield.
Let's take a look at this pass. Mike Vrabel is wide open in the back of the end zone, and Tom throws it way too high. It was a spectacular effort by Mike Vrabel, but he came down out of bounds before he was able to get his foot down. If that would have been anything closer to a decent pass, that would have been 4 touchdowns, because Corey Dillon scored on the very next play from the 1-yard line.
You could make an argument that might have been Brady's worst pass of the day.
And it might have been Vrabel's best non-reception ever.
And meanwhile, look at this kick that rolls out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. Aaron Rodgers back on the field, quarterbacking the Green Bay Packers after this. What is that?
A man who enjoys a good cigar.
No. That's not what I meant. You went to Michigan. Is that a Wolverine?
No, I hope not.
Aaron Rodgers, deep drop, running out of time, goes down inside the 10-yard line. Ty Warren in on the quarterback.
I cannot tell what this is up here. It looks like, I hope it's man-made, whatever it is. I hope that's not a real skin that he's wearing.
And what's that growing out of whatever it is his head? It looks like a ring toss.
Got some creativity there.
Amon Green. Jarvis Green making the stop. And right about now, Mike McCarthy, head coach of the Green Bay Packers, just wondering what the heck it is that's going to click in for his team and get them started in any positive direction.
Well, he's got to keep trying to find a play that Aaron Rodgers can execute. Again, though, you're backed up to your own goal line. You got 3rd and long yardage. There aren't many of those floating around for a quarterback without much experience.
Rodgers needs the 26 for a first down. He's going to go deep. And that is caught and out of bounds.
But way out of bounds.
By Greg Jennings.
You want to try to put it over the outside shoulder, but that ball was uncatchable inbounds.
You know, in talking to Mike McCarthy yesterday, we mentioned how young his team is. The Packers are the youngest team in the NFL. He says from day one, it's been no excuses. It's not a reason to lose, according to the coach.
And a coach can never offer an excuse to his players, because nobody else cares.
Kevin Falk from his own 41 tries the right side, finds running room. 40, one man to beat, and inside the 25-yard line as he's caught from behind. Tracy White saved the touchdown. 47-yard punt and a 37-yard return.
Well, Kevin Falk, you notice when he catches the ball, there's nobody from Green Bay even in the frame. When you give a punt returner a chance to go that far before he's ever challenged, he's got a chance to get to his blockers, and that's exactly what Falk did right there. Neither one of the Green Bay gunners was down there in a position to alter Falk's intended route at all. So he was able to find his wall, get inside of it, and pick up big yards.
Let's see if Tom Brady goes after the big one on first down. No, they hand it off to Maroney, who bounces off a tackler and then spins inside the 20-yard line. This is what's in store for the New England Patriots. Chicago Bears come in, followed by Detroit, then they'll travel to Miami.
And normally you would say, wow, that's a tough place to win in New England, and has been anything but the case so far this year. The Patriots have a losing record at home. They're 2-3, although they are in the process of getting a new field.
2nd and 7, Maroney again. Back to the line of scrimmage and not much more. Colin Cole with the tackle.
The turf at Gillette Stadium, the natural grass field, has always been in such bad shape. They continually resod it. Well, they've decided, I think rightly so, to tear it out completely, replace it with an artificial surface, and I'm sure that for most of the players, they're going to say, none too soon.
Much easier to resod the artificial stuff.
Yeah.
Third and 6 as we approach 9 minutes.
Creative headgear here at Lambeau.
Brady for Maroney. Beats his man down the sideline for the touchdown. What a move by the rookie.
Oh, he bent Nick Barnett over backwards without ever touching him. Nick Barnett, a really good tackler. He's the second leading tackler on the Green Bay team. Watch this move that Lawrence Maroney puts on Barnett. Nothing but a little dump-off pass, but whoa. Barnett's foot did slip out from under him a little bit. He tried to plant his right foot and it skidded a little. Pretty nice stuff out of the rookie from Minnesota, Lawrence Maroney.
4th touchdown pass of the day for Tom Brady. That ties his career high. Gostowski's kick is perfect. And with 8:49 to play, the Patriots now lead at 35-0. Lawrence Maroney, his first receiving touchdown of the season. 8:49 to play here in the 4th quarter, and now there are a few vacant seats as some of the fans have decided a 35-0 lead might be a little bit too much to overcome. They are all smiles in Boston. You can bet on that. This kick is going to go not out of bounds. Noah Herron picked it up and is back to the 13-yard line. He expected that ball to go out of bounds. Instead, it bounced right straight up into his arms. While we have a moment, tomorrow here on CBS, in Miami, everything's for sale, and we mean everything. Don't miss an explosive new episode of Monday's most watched show, CSI Miami, only on CBS. Plus, it's a chance to catch up on your Who music, Dan.
Got them all. Once again, Aaron Rodgers is faced with really, really poor field position with this Green Bay offense backed up inside their own 15-yard line.
Field position has been horrendous for Green Bay today. Rodgers gives to Green, and Green has not been able to garner much of anything on the ground today as we move up on 8.5 minutes to play in the 4th.
And right about now is where the defensive guys, Teddy Bruschi and company, they'll start talking about the shutout. It becomes very important to a defensive football team. If they've got a chance, winning's the most important, but if they've got a chance to throw a goose egg up on the scoreboard, right about now is when they start talking to each other about keep our focus.
With field position like this, it's not going to be too difficult. This is Green trying the near side and bursts across the 20 and out, looks like enough for a first down, close to the 25. First downs have been few and far between for the Packers today.
And you hear a rise from the crowd as they give Ahman Green some rather token applause for picking up the first down. Just keep that group on the sideline. That's all Green Bay can hope for now.
And once again, Green. And from the Patriot point of view is fool me 2 times, shame on you, fool me thrice.
Yeah. Well, certainly here in Green Bay this week, the condition of the throwing arm of Brett Favre is going to be topic A, B, C, and D.
He joined us late. He went down on it in the second half. Went to the locker room, returned at the start of the 3rd quarter, but never re-entered the game, and then left the field for good. So the 2nd quarter is when the injury happened. Vernon Morency to the 30-yard line. Go back and take another look at what happened to Brett Favre.
Well, it's a passing play. He's back in the pocket. He's going to get wrapped up around the ankles by Banta Kane, and then as he goes down right here, watch him as he comes back. He lands on that elbow, and he's he's just, as you can see, it looks like it's affecting his whole lower arm.
That's you, June. Back.
Went through the throwing motion at halftime, but never re-entered the game. Rodgers to throw. And that's incomplete.
Yeah, Brett came back out at the start of the third quarter and stood on the sidelines during most of the third quarter watching Aaron Rodgers run the club, and then he and one of the training staff just trotted across the field at the very end of the third quarter, went up the tunnel, and we haven't seen him since.
So another punting situation for Green Bay. This will be the 10th of the day for the Packers. Penalty marker down, and this is Kevin Falk. And this time, Falk is wrapped up at about the 20.
Falk on the return, brought down by Hunter.
There's Lawrence Maroney. He's had himself a pretty good day. Let's meet the rookie running back of the New England Patriots.
Lawrence Maroney, New England Patriots, running back. What y'all don't know about me, favorite food, I like to eat pizza. Favorite vacation spot, I got to go to Mexico. I just want to travel the world.
He's having too much fun, Dan.
He's a very likable kid. Really is. And extremely talented.
This penalty is on Antoine Spann of the New England Patriots. It's going to back the line of scrimmage up to about the 13-yard line.
And I believe we've got a change in quarterback. Looks like Matt Castle is going to replace Brady.
Matt Castle in his second year out of Southern Cal. And this is Corey Dillon. Castle doesn't get many reps at all. In fact, he has yet to throw a pass this season.
Well, there you see his career numbers. And of course, you know, Castle achieved a lot of notoriety because at his career at USC, he only attempted 33 passes his entire career at USC, as he was a perpetual backup to Carson Palmer and Matt Leinart. And that's pretty good stuff there by Mr. Brady. Got a passer rating of almost 130.
Dillon, left side, takes on a couple of tacklers, and he's about a yard shy of a first down. And then we come up on 5 minutes to play. Pretty impressive outing by the New England Patriots today, and helped in no small part to an ineffective Green Bay offense.
Yeah, well, the Green Bay offense was totally strangled by the Patriots defense, and the reality was is that Brett really struggled. Prior to the injury, Brett was really struggling throwing the football. He clearly had trouble trying to get it to go where he wanted it to. And yeah, it's all smiles and giggles over there now.
Dan, there was a look at Tom Brady's beard, or what he's referring to as a beard. It in no way compares to the beards his offensive linemen are sprouting.
Well, I think he got a little bit of a late start on it.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so, because if that's been going as long as the linemen have, it's not good.
Yeah, one of his bearded guys, Matt Light, right there, who's got quite a good one going. He's got the outdoorsman beard going. He's got the old Jeremiah Johnson look.
Grizzly Adams type.
He's got. Yeah, I think Tom just got a late start.
Well, either that, or he looks like he's just a bad razor.
They play at the razor. I don't know. I think he just got a late start. These linemen have had a. I think Tom's giving them just a little show of support. I'm going to join the group.
And as you said earlier, always a good idea when a quarterback is trying to relate to his offensive line.
Take them out to eat, buy them whatever they want.
3rd and 6. Castle going to put it up and goes down instead. Baja Biamila with his 4th sack of the season.
And one of the few times today that we've seen real pressure on the New England quarterback. And even this, Matt Castle had plenty of time to get rid of the football. Couldn't find anybody open, and taking that sack, the smart thing to do. Don't be silly.
Maybe Matt doesn't have the beard, dude.
Although now this is going to be a then they're going to be a little tester here for the New England defense if they're going to try to preserve this shutout. Green Bay will get good field position.
Rouvel Martin looking right into the sun for this kick. From the 47. And he's going to lose yardage on the play. Back almost to midfield.
Well, let's check on some of the things that have been happening around the NFL. Look at that day for Drew Brees. 3 interceptions, though, lots of yards. But the 3 picks and only 1 touchdown, that kind of hurts. Lee Evans, I'd say that's a monster receiving day, averaging almost 25 yards of reception. And Larry Johnson, 30 carries in the NFL. When you carry the ball 30 times a game, you have earned your pay. A couple of touchdowns to go with it.
And you know, there's been this whole thing about Trent Green or Damon Heward. When you've got a running back running 30 times for 154 yards, it feels like it doesn't matter quite so much.
Yeah, the important thing is LJ going to play or not.
Stay tuned, stay tuned. What you got?
First down from the 49.
Stay Linda.
Go. Rodgers lost the football. Fallen on, looks like by the Patriots at the 45-yard line. Mike Wright, number 99, off the hip from Mike Vrabel.
Well, you know they wanted the shutout, and that's going to go a ways towards preserving it. Watch coming in from the right side of your screen. There comes Mike Vrabel right there. He knocks out the football. Rodgers never had any sense of Vrabel coming, and that's just Mike Vrabel being a smart football player. I'm sure he could hardly believe that ball was just sitting right out in front of him like that. And he just flat creates a big play again for the Patriots. It's an Ohio State weekend.
Here's Lawrence Maroney, and Maroney maybe a yard on the play. As we continue to look ahead to the postseason, should the season end right now, Indianapolis, Denver, Baltimore, New England all in as division leaders. San Diego and Jacksonville with the edge in the wild card over the Jets, the Chiefs, the Bengals.
And Indianapolis and Denver still to play today, and New England will go to 7-3. And in the AFC East, the Jets are losing. The Patriots went into the day with a 1-game lead.
Here's Maroney. Following us, once we wind down here at Lambeau, it'll be the Colts and the Dallas Cowboys.
And I think everybody else in the AFC chasing the Colts become Dallas fans. Although that might be hard for them to do. But certainly right now the Patriots are Bears fans, as they'd like to see the Bears hold on to that lead over the Jets so they could open up their lead in the East.
Under 2.5 minutes to play.
Wide 20. Wide 27.
On 3rd and 5. That's a first down for Lawrence Maroney to the 35-yard line.
And we're being told that it's the final seconds of the Jets-Bears game, and the Bears are going to go ahead and win that thing. Up 10-0, so everything's working out okay for the Patriots today.
And the Jets were feeling the exact opposite a week ago. 2 minutes to play. With 2 minutes to play, Bill Belichick has given the nod to Vinny Testaverde. 43-year-old Vinny Testaverde, back in 1987, the #1 pick in the draft, coming off a Heisman Trophy season. And here he is back in action to take a couple of snaps to close out the game. And Vinny's not going to be severely tested here, but was he all smiles on his way in?
That is really good for Vinny.
And a pretty good all-around effort today by the New England Patriots.
Yeah, that's Dean Pease, the defensive coordinator, and he was going up and down and congratulating his guys. Hanging a goose egg, that's what it's all about for the defensive guys. And you know, Vinny and Bill Belichick, these two have a long history together, go all the way back to Bill's first go-around as a head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Testaverde starting with Tampa Bay, stops in Cleveland, Baltimore, the New York Jets, and Dallas. And Mike McCarthy looking at a second shutout, and that bears repeating. Never at Lambeau Field have the Packers been shut out twice in one season until now, as we come to the last 55 seconds.
12 from the 37.
Well, I don't think in any way they could envision that they were going to have the kind of troubles they had early on trying to move the ball against the Patriots. They couldn't even get a first down.
The Green Bay Packers came in here winners of 3 of their last 4 games, while the Patriots were riding a 2-game losing streak, but that all changes in one football game here today. There won't be another snap, but the handshaking has begun at midfield, and you can chalk up win number 7 on the season as Belichick and McCarthy meet at midfield.
Well, kudos to the Patriots, and maybe in one of the least surprising things I've seen in a while, the Patriots playing good football late.
35-0 New England for Dan Deerdorf, Greg Gumbel. So long from Green Bay. The Capital One update is next with JB in New York.
A convincing win by the New England Patriots, who improved to 7-3. We take you to a very competitive contest in Cleveland. Pittsburgh with the ball, 44 seconds left in regulation, trailing by 3. Gus Johnson, Steve Tasker.
2:31 and a touchdown. First down and goal at the 5. Willie Parker, the single setback. Here's Willie looking, and he goes down inside the 5 at the 4. Orpheus Roy with the tackle. And now, another timeout by the Steelers, trying to work the clock. 39 seconds to go. They know that they're in field goal range. They don't want to do anything crazy. Best case scenario is to get the touchdown with no time left. Worst case is for something bad to happen, but they're going to make sure they get the field goal at least with no time on the clock. So let's take a look at the scoring summary. Browns got on the board first. Davin Holly with an interception, return for 57 yards and a touchdown. Then Phil Dawson came in, kicked a 23-yard field goal. Pittsburgh got on the board in the second half with a 43-yard field goal by Reed. It's Antonio Holmes with the touchdown. Now Willie Parker with a 1-yard touchdown run. And also there was a 92-yard kickoff return by Joshua Cribbs for Cleveland that made it 20-10. That Parker touchdown made it 20-17. And Kellen Winslow Jr. can't bear to watch it. Second down and goal at the 4. Ward splits to the far side of the field along with Wilson. And now a timeout called by Cleveland.